My name is Rhapsody and welcome back to Disco Elysium. We have one more level, as well as open the blast door and rest is a quest. Alright. Let's go back and rest, and then we'll try and open the blast door, I think. Oh, yeah, no, there wasn't anything out this way. Good. I've been thorough in my checks of the island so far. Apparently that's not a way back in, though. How do I get to there? Ah, right. Loop around this way. Good. If I rest, though, like, there is another set of eyes here. Ooh. So what's on this? Some more magnesium and money. Not that the money does anything at this point. Green paint flakes off of the monoblock aluminium cabinet. There are rows of switches on the front panel, a frequency band, and even a keyboard. Run your fingers across the keyboard. The keys rattle like teeth. The keyboard hasn't been functional in decades. What is this, then? The console of an intake computation device. The lieutenant points to the wires running into the machine. The generator upstairs, with wires coming out, they terminate here. Could this open the blast door? Possibly. He inspects the dials. Urgence, ouvre, allemand, ready to fuse. It sounds like this device is used to control the electronics here. Maybe it still does. This device was used to control the electronics in this room. It could open doors, control lights, and function as a radio computer. Push light interior. Nothing happens. Slide radio dial. The dial slides under the glass silently. You make out defunct stations on the UKV frequency. The words Feld Insula are written on the band. An idea lights up in your head. Maybe we could contact Suna, the programmer lady. She can open the door for us remotely. The lieutenant inspects the indicator. This is an air guard system. Off-air, I think they call it. It won't work. You sure? No, I'm not. But it wouldn't be very good military technology if programmer ladies could control it remotely. Also, it's ancient. Incompatible. Turn emergency open. No, don't want to do that yet. I think it's time for a nap. I think there's no better time. The officer still stands, he says, looking at the pillbox window. Ticket. You don't look so good. Maybe you're just a little shut-eyed. Just an hour. Go to sleep. You face the concrete wall. There's less light there, in the dark corner. Like a dog, you lie there. Curl up with your knees close to your chest. The blanket feels cold. The entire room does. Concrete and cold. Minutes pass. Half an hour, maybe? The sound of sea beyond grows distant. Your eyelids close until you feel yourself standing up in the darkness. Right next to the mattress. Slowly the world begins to hatch from the blackness. It's evening. The objects aren't interactable anymore, so I imagine we're now just walking in our dream. Been a while since we've done one of those. Oh. The lieutenant is no longer here. Go outside, to the beach. Let's look at the door again. The door is still here, closed. Feels strange somehow. You can't get in. I mean, this is the beach that they're referring to, right? Okay. Whoop. Go down to the chain. There's something there. Don't. No. Kim's safe. Kim's okay. Now do it. Walk into the water. You see her footprints on the water. Dolores Day, the innocence of humanism, internationalism, and the welfare state, turns around to face you. She has an airship bag in her hand. She seems to be in a hurry. Off to advise the Queen of Shest, most likely. This is the holy suzerain of Monday in the Unzilinde. Definitely not your wife. You need to talk to her. Think of the historical knowledge you could glean. I don't know, man. What is the holy suzerain doing here? Something seems off. Very off. Just let it go. Listen to me for once. Hey.
Hey.
How you doing?
I'm doing really good, actually. Both professionally and romantically. I've come to a fulfilling and peaceful period in my life. How are you doing, Harry?
I'm gonna turn up the game volume here just a little because she has a very soft voice. I'm not doing very well.
Don't say that. I know this positive thing sounds stupid to you, Harry, but it works. We all have an obligation to be happy. You too. And you will be. Now.
She looks over her shoulder. This is everything I warned you about. Something is off.
I'm sorry. I was heading to the aerodrome. I just don't have time to...
She stops mid-sentence, glancing to her right, then looks at her bag. She means she doesn't have any time to tend to your emotions. You don't have time to tend to my emotions? She sighs and looks over her shoulder. Where are you going?
I'm going to Morova. To live there. In Grad. It's 1 million kilometers away, Harry. Might as well be another lifetime.
What's in the bag?
Just my scepter. My globe cruciger. A spare silk gown. A toothbrush. Travel documents. The crown of immortality.
Crown of immortality? Aren't you already wearing one?
Oh, this?
She corrects the wreath on her forehead.
This is just a wreath. The crown of immortality is made of rarefied light, mana and raw palladium. It was passed on to me by the rulers of late antiquity.
She looks at the suitcase, not knowing what more to say, then over her shoulder.
Anyway.
Can you stay for a moment? We need to talk. We need to have one more massive epic show. No. Go. Goodbye. Is what you want to say, but you don't. Hammers clang in the distance. Children laugh. God damn it, everything was fine already. The light from the video rental casts shadows on the ground. She turns her face and it's illuminated by it. Red and cyan. I can't help you. I am totally useless. Everything I've said is lies. I want the exact same bad things you want. To stand here like a pillar of salt saying... Can you stay for a moment? We need to talk. We need to have one more massive epic showdown.
No, Harry. No. I don't want a massive epic showdown. I want to go to the aerodrome. I have tickets for the 10:20 flight to Morova. Really.
She looks at you plaintively.
We don't have anything to talk about anymore. Every combination of words has been played out. The atoms don't form us anymore. Us, our love, our unborn daughters. It's all gone. I have to go to the aerodrome. I have to leave River Shoal and you. And you have to be alone. In hell. Forever. That's just the way it is.
Oh, God. Whatever you do, don't try and kiss her. Yet. Not after that. You're still reeling. You'll fall over if you try and do it now. Yeah, there's a 42 on that, actually. I brought you this figurine of a headless Fallen Rider? I don't want it. She said, she doesn't take it. It looks expensive. I don't want it. I thought you liked figurines. I thought the figurines were for getting you back. That's not what figurines do, Harry. But then the figurines don't do anything? She looks at the headless Fallen Rider between your fingers and doesn't know what to say. The figurines don't do anything? Anything at all. But I thought the historical... She liked war games and figurines. Yeah, I thought it would be good. Maybe this revolutionary figurine then? Show it to her. Maybe you can take this revolutionary figurine? It's got a little musket. No, please. Please don't give me anything. Okay, I won't give you anything then. Just got an achievement called "The Figurines Won't Win Her Back." The description is "They do nothing." I didn't ask for things. It's too late to give me anything. I would have liked the headless farm rider back then. But that's not a good way for things to be. It's not, but she looks at her feet. Little golden sandals cover her toes. But what? Tell me there's something good. I don't know why I said but. There is no but. That's it? That's it, yeah. She looks up from her toes. We've talked about it a million times. You'll get over it. Just like I did. People do. Things will get good for you again. Where? In hell? Stop. You're only making it worse for him. You never help with anything. That's rhetoric. That's Volition arguing against rhetoric. I'm not getting over it at all. It just takes some time. For you, I think it'll take something like 20 years, maybe? It was hard for me too, you know? I used to think I couldn't live without you. She looks you straight in the eyes. Her iris is a light blue flecked with green, but I can. She keeps her shoulders squared and back straight, but it's clear you're still making her sad. So you felt that way once? That you couldn't live without me? Yes. But that time is gone now. So very gone. Your innocence, Dolores Day, I'm sorry I made you sad. It's okay. It doesn't have to be like this. Maybe we could try again? No, Harry, we can't. Why? We already tried again and it didn't work. Is that how it is now? We should just try all the good things twice and then give up by that logic? Not you two. Volition arguing against logic there. Let's try building communism twice. If it doesn't work, let's abandon it and be slaves forever instead. Yes, of course. I'm bourgeois because I don't want to keep hurting you. She looks away from you. What went wrong when we tried again? I can do it better. I don't know, please. She shuffles from one golden sandaled foot to the other. In the distance, a streetcar screeches. Why? Why can't we be together? Harry, we can't be together because you're insane. Her eyes turn to sorrowful ovals. She avoids turning them to you. Insane? How? They're turning moist now, her eyes. She shakes her head and tries to get a hold of herself, brushing her hands in her gown. What do you mean by telling me I'm insane? You know what I mean. Okay, I'll throw the necktie away. It stopped saying things anyway. What do you mean it stopped saying things? It doesn't say anything anymore. I think there was something I had to do with it, but it didn't. And now it's dead. It's not about some tie, Harry. You've worked there for so long, you can't even talk like a normal person anymore. It's always lists with you. Questions. Questions? Did someone say questions? Reaction speed doing that. I don't have lists. Lies. They're not lists, they're trees. This is another one now, isn't it? We're in a tree now. Lists are absolutely normal. Everyone has them. You just list the things that you want to ask. No, yeah, but it's not possible to talk without trees. It's not just the lists or the trees or whatever. She corrects the wreath on her head, her hands trembling now. You get sad, Harry. Too sad. People can't get that sad. It's impossible to watch. Other people get sad too, but not like you. You stay down for too long, until you start giving your thoughts names and talking to things. In conclusion, you're ill. You're an old, insane man. You have to be in hell until the end of your life. And I have to go to Morova. I get the feeling you're not really Dolores Day. I don't know what you mean, Dolores Day. She looks at you quizzically. It doesn't seem like a mystery she wants to get into. You're... the mourning. The mourning? I don't understand. No, I meant mourning. I'm grieving, but you're not even dead. Oh my god, Harry, stop. I don't want to hear anything about the mourning. Mourning someone that's still alive. Any of that. I can't do it anymore. I'm not 80 years old. I'm 32. People my age aren't supposed to mourn. She breathes out. Seems more angry than a sigh. You're the X something. Wasn't I Dolores Day a second ago? Now I'm the X thing? You're confusing me. Look, I have to be at the Lausanne Aerodrome by 10:20 p.m. I have a light train to catch. She keeps glancing over her shoulder nervously. I haven't even bought the tickets yet. We all told you. Everyone warned you. Who everyone?
Everyone. Literally all of you.
I should have stayed down. I should have gone even deeper to the place where I never met you, because it's impossible to meet people in the abyss of the void. I should have stayed down. She sighs with frustration. My friends are waiting for me on the platform. I can't let them wait. It's impolite. Say nothing, just look at her. She doesn't look back. Instead, eyes her fingernails. They're bitten, frayed. The evening wind blows in. A gown wraps around her like a white flag. On the second thought, you're Dolores Day, Queen Regent. That's probably regnant. Yeah. Queen Regent of the territories of Mundi and the Insulinda, and nothing else. Yes, Harry, I am. Things have gotten much better for me, now that I'm the ruler of the known world. She pulls up her silvery sleeve of her gown to check the time. Oh god, it's already so late. I have to go, Harry. A tiny golden watch with red straps about her bony little wrist, rather. But you always said I had a vast soul and you would always come back to it. We both said a lot of things. We were very young. It was her. I can feel it. I can see it in her tender, long fingers, in her wrists. Her hand wrote it. Said those things. Actually, you didn't say it. You wrote it in a handwritten letter. I kept it in my paperwork. As Queen Regent, I write a lot of letters. She brushes a white strand of hair from her eye. You need to recite it for her, for effect. All of it. No summaries. Yeah, put a stake through your heart. She'll get hurt too. Collateral damage. I don't need to make this harder on her. You know what I mean. You left me a letter saying you would always come back to me, that you can't believe how happy you are with me. Okay, Harry, she sighs. Okay. It was morning and you slept. The room smelled of cigarettes and Rowan's. There was a hoarfrost on the ground when I left. It was autumn, the first one we had together. You have to understand, it was 1,000,000 years ago. No, it was 100 million years ago. I was someone else then. Filled to the brim with a love for you. Hanging on to your every word. Oh, Harry, you were the coolest. But I'm no longer that person. This, she points to herself, has taken her place. It'll devour you, Harry. I will eat your mind. The light of the video rental shines through her dress now. A DeLorean figure, cut in black, moves below. It's still her. Her legs, her breasts, her hips. I was cool? The coolest. She closes her eyes. With your leather jacket and your bootcut pants, smoking in the bus stop. I wanted you to be the rest of my life that day. And you were. Some of it, at least. You were my first kiss, my first time to have sex. The first and worst time I fell in love. I'll always have that with me. It's a fact. But that's all this is. It's like a ticket stub, Harry. It doesn't do anything anymore. A ticket stub. Yeah, let's talk about that too. She nods. Let's bring it up. The zoo in Les Jardins. The day we met, we went east of the river. To the aquarium first. I was sad about my mother. I don't even know why. The shimmer of the fish tank on my face. The octopuses. octopodes. It was just a day then, but to think. Were we there now? You could touch my hair, kiss me, talk to me about anything, go. She shakes her head. Virtually anywhere in the world. Not like now. Our interactions are limited to pain and regret. What now? What happens now? What is the next thing we talk about? Is there really anything left? If not, we can always repeat one of the things we've already talked about. Talk about it again. She looks over her shoulder. If you don't feel like doing that, you should let me go to the aerodrome. I'm going to go through this line again without summarizing. Can't you turn back to the person you were? I can see her in you, under that gown and the wreath. Under my crown of immortality. No, she shakes her head. You scared her out of me with your crying, your... She stops. The awful time we wound up having. And the cheap rental flats you could afford. Can't you see? I can never think you're cool again. I can only think that way about new people. A cheap rental with mold on the walls and a tap dripping. It won't help anyway. Nothing will. I've been poisoned by the newspaper and the news. All I can do is scream at them and think of her, secretly. Don't go. I have to, Harry. Really, I've already missed the 8:30. Her fingers wrap around the bad handle. I'm gonna go now. Wait, can we sit down and have a coffee first? There's a cafeteria on the corner. You don't want me to let you go. Not really. You asked me not to. That was someone else. I betrayed her, overwrote her, and I'm happier for it. And I'm really going now. The time is up. I must be on the 10:20 flight. No. Yes. Will we ever see again? I won't see you, but you'll see me. How can that be? Oh, Harry, this is a dream, can't you see? I'm already in Moreover by now. Who knows how long ago this happened? She looks around. A year? 2? 5 years ago? How will I see you again then? Right here. Tomorrow night. Once this dream starts happening, it keeps happening. 3 times a week, at least. And Harry, it really, really looks like it started happening again. There's the video rental. I'm suffocatingly beautiful and young. And I smell of tutti frutti chewing gum. Like I did the time you asked, when I asked you for forgiveness. After leaving you on the first so long ago. But this is intolerably bad. Oh yes, this is real darkness. It's not death or war or child molestation. Real darkness has love for a face. The first death is in the heart, Harry. See you tomorrow. Thank heck, Kim. From one love to another. You're up quick. How was your sleep? My deep was sleeping invigorating. Desperately try to cover up the blood seeping out with your hands. Swallow the blood and conclude. Let's comb the entire item. My sleep was deep and invigorating. Desperately try to cover up all the blood seeping out with your hands. Of course. I was just thinking, maybe you've sewn your stitches? Are you ready to move on? Let's comb the entire island, centimeter by centimeter. That's the next step in the task chain. Okay. He replies simply. He's still worried. You must have really thrashed and squealed in your sleep. Pour fuel into the tank. The lieutenant assists you, holding the canister up to the fuel tank as you tilt. Dark brown viscous fluid pours out and the room fills with a chemical smell. There's a red starter switch on the side of the cylinder and a start rope on the other side. The lieutenant flicks the switch. Pull the rope. The recoil starts as the old generator wakes up. Sorry, the recoil start wakes the old generator up. The machine sputters like an old warhorse before settling down to a rattle. That should do it. Did we reopen a check somewhere? Doesn't look like it. Turn emergency open. I'm gonna slide the radio dial. I'm gonna push lights interior. And turn emergency open. The blast door opens with a series of clicks. The shaft of light, a shaft of light appears, then widens as the light shines in. A sudden wave of anxiety makes your skin crawl. After you, the lieutenant gestures at the opening. Before, outside, when we were walking across the sand, I felt someone watching me. So did I. Not back there, but I felt it ever since we came here. I'm scared. Don't be. He takes out his sidearm, checks the barrel, and then holsters it again. I have a gun. What's there? Point to the door. I don't know. Let's go. All this farm gear has like reaction speed and stuff like that and hand-eye coordination. I think those are going to be really, really important in this space, in this next area. Walk slow. It might be dangerous. Yeah, this was another area that we were going to walk slow, walk slow. Insulindian lilies. The flower, the Maybell. A rubber dinghy. It's deflated. Broken. Small white flowers blossom all around you. It's the flower of the revolution as well. All right. An old man wearing tracksuit trousers leans on the framed stock of his rifle. He gathers a big ball of spit in his mouth, then spits it out into the extinguished fire before him. He raises his black eyes, hooded by creased eyelids, to meet yours. Unclouded by cataracts, his eyesight is sharp. He's practically tearing up from spite. Hatred got the best of him a long time ago. This man hates everything. Are you the fire guy?
What now? I can't hear you.
He cups his ear. Did you recently tell two kids to put out their fire? Two twins?
I may have. All sorts of little rats have come sniffing around trying to give up the position. Fire guy, regressive bourgeoisie henchman, can't even talk like a grown-up.
You've retained your eyesight.
My eyesight, yes, helps me see all this shit.
A shudder of disgust passes his left side. His right side remains motionless. Did you close the blast door?
I did. And you opened it. How?
I fueled the generator, then used the console.
I should have burned that console down.
He shakes his head. How did you know I was coming?
Reactionary rock and roll music playing on the water.
He gestures north. Yeah, that was gonna give us away, to be fair.
Told you we shouldn't play sad FM.
But it was not reactionary, it was cool.
The fascists were right about rock and roll. It is degenerate, hip, gyrating mental illness music.
Ugh. Yikes, bud. Nice gun you got there.
It's not nice, it's a piece of shit. Gets the job done.
Is that a Bell Margrave?
It's a Trigon 446.
46. That's the round we found. Southeast Samoan made, exotic. Must be defunct too. No modern rifle manufacturer of that name springs to mind.
A Samaran rifle? How did you get hold of one?
It was sent to us by our brothers in the Xinyao commune. Military aid.
The Xinyao commune?
You heard me. It's good now. Like chalk wiped from a board.
His gaze turns inward. He's right. Almost no one remembers there was a third metastasis of the world revolution in the Safra Empire extinguished in 06. It's not wiped from the board. I remember it.
They wouldn't like hearing their name coming from your mouth. A damn dog.
The time will come to win his trust, comrade. It's not now. You need to take care of the gun first. So I need you to put down the gun so we can talk further. We're with the police. The lieutenant pulls his pistol from his holster.
You're a glorified night watchman. This is a service rifle. I can only lay it down before an enemy commander of corresponding rank.
His elbow rests on the frame stock. Gently for now. But he may still get it in his hands. Looks like he knows the weapon. I am an enemy commander of rank. Put it down. The words, I am an enemy commander, sounds cold as iron from your lungs. The old man still hugs his gun.
And what rank would that be?
Lieutenant Double Yefrator.
A big wheel of the 4th Regiment of the pederast army. To hell with it. It's a walking stick anyway. It's out of bullets.
The old man lays the rifle down carelessly, then stares at it. Just laying there. Like an amputated limb in the sand. He stares on, his wrinkled mouth moving without a sound, a strange sadness, like a song. What did you say?
The future teaches you to be alone.
The present. The present?
The present to be afraid and cold.
The old man pulls back the hood of his plastic cape and looks up into the sky. It's blue-gray, same color as the sea. Those words, the future teaches you. Real music, real prolecult. He nods. That's La Revolution, not your rock and roll misanthropy. Chanson des soldats, of the black and whites. Marching song. I know La Revolution. It's the marching song of the World Revolution. There you go. His eyes remain fixed on the sky as he sighs and adds, one of 3. In Grad they sang brave children, favorites of history. And in Shinsao it was. He struggles to remember, then gives up. Some Samaran shit, I guess. In Shinsao they sang Boy with a Scythe, Golden Sun. First, it wasn't some Samaran shit, it was Boy with a Scythe. I fucking know what they sang, he hisses. I watched those little fuckers die in my arms. Little ones came to help us, got cut to shreds. You don't fucking tell me what they sang. He closes his eyes and exhales to calm himself. His nostrils are still flaring with rage. He brings himself back under his own stewardship, slowly. How does it go? The song. How did it go? He looks at the gun on the ground and shakes his head slowly. Something about shooting rabbits. I don't know. I can't remember. It's gone now. It doesn't matter. He waves erratically with his hand, annoyed that he can't remember. A little tremor passes through him. It was dear to him. He resents forgetting it. So if I can shoot rabbits, then I can shoot fascists too, were the next lines. So if I can shoot rabbits, then I can shoot fascists too. What are you talking about? He squints and looks you straight in the eye. 2 black beads moist from the sea air. He doesn't recognize it. Embers are going out. Pick up the gun lying in the sand. His gaze follows your motions. The rifle feels surprisingly light in your hand. Frame stocked and patched in places with tape and wire. Inspect it closer. The rifle's in a shabby state, like a crutch that's seen too much travel. Hieroglyphs are embossed into the forearm made of walnut. They say, Trigon 4.46, Shinsao Commune, for Safra, and for all of mankind. I know Therese? This is Vulgate Therese. You can barely intuit the words. No is stretching it. Kim, I know Therese. What does he say? He asks daftly. For Safra, and for all of mankind. That's what the little guys told us. The old man says silently. Every day at 4 o'clock in the morning, they'd go on about Safra, their mankind, and Mazov. Those men were commandos. They weren't shit on a stick like us. They were small and... He doesn't say anymore. The thought dissipates on his lips. Look at the butt of the gun. On the butt of the gun, you see Vespertine writing, burnt into the wood. Trigon 4.46 milliliters, made in Shinsao. It's as he said. It's a Trigon, made in Shinsao. No one said it has to be a Melmargrave. The lieutenant does not take his eyes off the old man. We were just guessing. From ballistics, it easily could have been a Trigon too. It doesn't matter if it was made in Shanti. All it has to do is use jacket and ammunition, and it does. This uses jacket and ammunition, 4.46. The right type and caliber. The lieutenant nods, glancing at the gun. He's liking this. Stow the gun, conclude. The old man keeps following your motions with his gaze. His left arm twitches suddenly. Some kind of involuntary response? Something is slightly off with his motorics. This looks very much like the murder weapon. It can be used to get a confession in time. Who are you? My name. He looks at you across the water, then he looks across the water, then back at you, rather. Is Josef Lilyanovich Dross, political commissar of the 114th Anti-Aircraft Division of the 4th Army of Kobanuna Revachov. I'm a deserter, a partisan, a prisoner of war. This is my termless surrender. His eyes turn to the reeds again, dead and dull. The Commune of Revachov. The lieutenant forgets to close his mouth. Do you mean the ICM? You're a holdover from there. From the Insulindian Sizidin Militia. The Army of the Revolution. He was recruited in Jamrock in 07. Trained in the École de Contrôle Air. École de Contrôle Air. And consigned to emergency defense duties in 08. I left my unit on the eve of the landing. When I returned on May 14th, the Commune had fallen. Still armed and ideologically trained, I wrote a criticism of myself and resumed partisan duties. 51 minus 8 equals 43. You've been on this island for 43 years? No. He looks into the fire. A wisp of smoke rises from somewhere between the charred logs. I've been on other islands too. I was on the Resurrection until they turned it into a spa in 18. Then I was on E48, a nameless sound, until the sea washed over it. And then I came back here. That was, he thinks, 22 years ago. Again, you've been hiding for 43 years? 43 years and 10 months. That's the length of my entire life. It's too long. It's not how a human being should live. He grimaces, clearly in pain. But I couldn't just forget what I saw. He just couldn't. You couldn't give up. He nods. But he can now. What have you been doing here all this time? Hiding, fishing, waiting. He looks across the water. 2 police officers step out of the Whirling in Rags cafeteria. Satellite officer Jean Vacmar inspects a series of burnt black letters splashed across the plaza mosaic. Patrol officer Judith Mignot points west. The fishing village. She glances her watch. We meet in 15 minutes. It's a 10-minute walk. The officers go, leaving behind the writing, still smoldering. One day, it says, I will return to your side. So they're doing that now. Always waiting. The old man turns his eyes from the shore and back to you. For what? For her to return. Her who? Girl-child revolution. Girl-child revolution? Always. She'd better come. I too have given my life to Mazovian socioeconomics. A waste. He blinks his black eyes. The material base for an uprising has eroded. The working class has betrayed mankind and themselves. The historic opportunity for a revolution has passed. It will not come back anymore. However hard I try, whatever I do,